Hey everybody, Jim Malone here, coming to you live on Dallas Trading Floor. Uh, oh goodness gracious! I seem to have problems with Twitter. Why is that? Okay, well, we live on the other channels, so it looks like we're going to be able to be live. We're also simulcasting on TikTok, by the way. We're on Facebook, we're on we're on YouTube, we're on Twitch, and we're on um, and we're on hopefully Getter. That's going to be coming up soon. You have to go to the link on Getter, but we're adding some new platforms, which is very exciting. So, without further ado, let's get into the slides. Let's get into the slides here. We're still we're still in a confirmed uptrend, which is a definitely a good thing. But the market today has been a little bit shaky. I mean, I tried, I was stopped out of my position in Tesla yesterday at the 1010 range. I came back in this morning at 1050. It went up. Pushed my stop loss up to 1050, and guess what? I got stopped out at 1050. So I totally round tripped it today. So yeah, it's getting tough. I'm going to try to get back in tomorrow to Tesla, but right now it's just being difficult. That's the only one thing I can say about it. It's just being difficult. Here is how the market is. Here's how the market is sort of shaping up today. We're off a little bit on the Dow, as we indicated in this slide. Unfortunately, Boeing is down, and Visa's not doing too well either. But that's the Dow Jones. The S&P's off, but just slightly, really even. The Nasdaq is eking out a gain, which is nice, and I think this has a lot to do with the way Tesla has been performing in the last few days. I definitely think that's buoyed the Nasdaq. The Russell is off a little bit, and the IBD 50, which is these are growth stocks, they're off too. So it's a challenging market in that it just is one of these things where you know you just look at it and you go, wow. I don't know if I'm in the right things, whatever. Now, I do have a stock that I am buying today. I kind of want to show you this one. I've owned it, but I actually, doubled down on it. I don't know if it's a good idea or not. This basically is this is CrowdStrike. You probably heard of them. As you probably know, I had Fortinet. I did have Fortinet here. I did sell that today. I am buying CrowdStrike now. It is pulled back, and I don't know if you can see it on this particular chart that I have here, but it is basically gotten support at the 10-day line. We'll see. I do think that this one could move nicely. I did set my stop loss here at 269, so you could probably note that down. But CrowdStrike is very strong, composite rating of 96, looking very good. But we'll see. We'll see how it trades. Hopefully, it trades. It trades well. Um, it shows trades well. Just want to show you the stock of the day, and unfortunately, I am not in the stock. Boy, I wish I was. It's Google, and just jumping after earnings tremendously, up 6.5%. And remember, this is a $3,000, practically a $3,000 stock. Just really, really powerful. Just really powerful here. And it's just one of those things. I'm going to look to see if I can possibly construct a spread or something like this. But this is the stock of the day, just doing great. Google, and basically, I think what's pushing the QQQ, that's of course the Nasdaq 100, the 100 largest stocks, up is the action on Tesla and Google that's been really, really strong. So yeah, that's sort of been the way that it's that it's definitely moved. I do wanna show you a stock that is in the buy zone. Now, I did buy this stock today. It's IIPR, and if you're not familiar with this one, this is a REIT, and it's a very interesting REIT in that it it is sort of a landlord for the marijuana industry, if you could believe that, and it has very, very good returns. It did just move into this. It just passed the 253.71 point, and basically that buy point goes all the way up to 266.40. I got in it just a slightly above that, right about this price, 255.85. It's down a little bit in terms of the volume today, down 32%, but it's got a composite rating of 99. That doesn't get any better than that. So I definitely bought a full position for the small portfolio in Innovative Industrial Properties, IIPR. So that's the two that I've been buying today. I bought CrowdStrike and I bought IIPR. Now I want to show you the allocation that I have currently in the small portfolio. And basically, I've got EOG Resources. I'm continuing to hold that. That's about a 1. It's grown a little bit, 14% of the portfolio. Salesforce, that is exactly, it hasn't really done anything. That's exactly 12%. So that's basically one full position. About, there's 8 full positions in your portfolio. That's how you should do it. And it's basically one full position. Again, I did buy this one today. Innovative Industrial Properties is a little bit smaller than the Salesforce. It was just I had to round it up to an even share, so that's kind of the reason for that. Ternium, this is a steel company, TX. It's about 12% right now. CrowdStrike, of course, that's the one I talked about. It was right at a buy point, 11.5%. And then Denver Resources. This is another oil company. I would bought this one on Monday, and yeah, we'll see how it we'll see how that 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 moves out. Basically, I want to show you the stocks that I'm currently in, so that you can get an idea on that. And basically, again, EOG Resources. I'm in several accounts of this one. This is an oil stock. Salesforce.com. It's up a little bit today. Symbol, of course, is CRM on that one. Ternium. This is a steel company. Symbol is TX. Is down a little bit. I've had this one for a while. We're going to see. It may sort of on the bubble. Robert Half, it's down a little bit today, but this has been a good performer for me. The symbol on this one, RHI. I may be parting ways. I do have a profit on it, so I may be selling this one if I consider to see any more weakness. Invesco QQQ Trust, that's up today very nicely. CrowdStrike, of course, I did buy this one today, and hopefully it pulled back to the 10-day line. So hopefully my strategy of buying it on the 10-day line hopefully is a good one. We'll find out if that's true tomorrow. Denbury, I bought this one yesterday, a little bit down on this one. Of course, I bought also Innovative Industrial Properties a little bit on the pullback. I did buy it at 255, closed at about 256. So that kind of gives you a little bit of an idea of sort of what I am, what I'm currently holding, currently holding out there. So without further ado, let's get to some of the questions. Thank you very much for holding on. Let's take a look at some of the first questions. Thank you very much, and thanks for putting this up here. Oh boy, Boeing earnings was not bad. Should we start scaling in? Well, here's the thing about Boeing. I think you got to be extremely careful with Boeing, only because it's the kind of stock where I just wish it was stronger than it is, but it just isn't. But let's bring up the chart for Boeing. I'm bringing that up right now. And by the way, if you're looking on TikTok, super easy here. I'm showing the charts and everything. I can't show them live on TikTok, but I can definitely do it on. You can definitely see all the charts and everything that I'm referencing if you go to this address here, uh, www.bit.ly/DTF409. And that is a link that will take you directly to the YouTube, and you can see the charts as they're being presented uh, real time. So let's look at Boeing here and get an idea. And it's taking a second for it to come up. There we go. Come on. BA is the symbol. Boeing Aircraft Company. There we go. Okay, come on. There we go. Finally getting, sometimes it's not as fast as you'd like it to be when it comes up. Here's Boeing, and this is the chart. This is the chart on Boeing, and we've got to be kind of careful because it's surprising that it pulled back as much as it did. But this is why I totally recommend, and if you could do this, this is a good idea. Is into earnings, if you're not up 10% on a stock, you want to possibly consider selling it because um, you know, it can be these downward motions can be very, very disconcerting. Now, on the daily chart here, we're still below that 200-day line. That's very critical. I don't like to buy anything that is below this 200-day line. Now, I have heard in the past. I was listening to Mark Manavini this morning. He's a fantastic trader, and he basically doesn't. He basically follows this rule too, and that is he won't buy anything if it is below that 200-day line. Now, there are some exceptions, but they're very, very rare. So it's a good idea not to do that. It's not good to do that. So would I buy? The question is, would I buy Boeing at this level? I mean, would it, is it kind of are you shopping for bargains? Okay, well, I wouldn't do that, and I'll tell you why. Because this is currently in a downward trend. Boeing, unfortunately, is currently in a downward trend, and there's good reasons for this, both technically and fundamentally. But you see, the problem that Boeing is having, I believe, fundamentally, is that airlines just aren't flying as many routes as they were, and the demand for their orders just isn't as good. So here's the thing: I'd be extremely. I know that Boeing is a great company. A lot of people really, really like the company, but you got to look at this weekly chart, and it's not where you want to be. We have a relative strength of 45. That's not kind of something I want to buy. I don't want to buy. I don't want to buy, even though their sales were up. Overall, this isn't where the money is going in the market. The market for aerospace and defense, it's now 115 out of 197. That's not a good look. So here's what I would say. With Boeing, I think you just got to be you gotta be careful with Boeing, and I don't think you can buy it right now. Right now, it's just, it's not a good thing. So here's my thing with Boeing. I think you just got to avoid Boeing for right now. Put it on your watch list maybe, but but I wouldn't buy it. And the reason I wouldn't buy it here is that we're in a downward trend. Don't catch that falling knife. It's moving lower. Wait until it bottoms out and gets some strength and possibly trades above the 200-day line. So right now, I just can't recommend Boeing at all. I just can't recommend Boeing. Unfortunately, I wish I could, but I certainly can't. So be very careful. I don't think you should scale into it. I don't think you should scale into it. For right now, I just think you got to avoid it. I think you got to avoid Boeing right now, just because it's in a downward trend, and we don't want you don't catch a falling knife. Don't buy a stock as it's moving lower. And unfortunately, right now, Boeing is moving lower. So, we just got to be careful. This is the chart. Now, I want to show you the monthly chart here for Boeing, so you can kind of get a good look. See it. As you can see, I mean, this goes all the way back here to 1991, and up until 2017. Boeing was a great buy, okay? But it's peaked in 2017, and guess what? It's been on a downward trend since. It has not moved to a higher high. And this is going all the way back. So really, if you really look at, if you're really strict in terms of the way you buy things, this is not Boeing has not really been all that good a stock since 2012. Now, it did move up from 2009 to 2020, absolutely, but it's reverted back to the same trend that it's been on for a long time. So right now, I don't think you can buy Boeing right now. I don't think you can do it. I don't think it's a good buy. I think you ought to be super careful. But I really appreciate the question. It's a great company. I just don't think it's it's what you want to buy. Okay, let's look at Amazon. That's a little bit different story. And let's see if we can find a buy point on Amazon. Just pull this up. Amazon, of course, one of the all-time great long-term leading stocks. Always been stock. So I'm gonna go to the weekly chart here first, and let's take a look at that to kind of see, what we're looking at in terms of the weekly chart. It's fairly flat if you look at the weekly chart. The question is, has it moved off of that consolidation? And I'm going to switch over here to the daily chart to see if we can kind of. It doesn't show the consolidation on my chart, but I can show you where it is. Yeah, it does. Okay, so this is basically the consolidation here. It's at about 31.75. Okay, and it did bounce basically off the consolidation at the end of September, and it's been moving up ever since. Now, initially, it was below that 200-day line. Remember, I was talking about that 200-day line and how you should never try to buy it as if it's below that line because, unfortunately, sometimes they don't bounce. They just keep on going down, down, down. Right now, um, right now, um, Amazon is 1 day before earnings, and they might have good earnings, they might have bad earnings, but you know what? I don't wanna take a chance in this market, and right now, I don't think you should do anything. I think you should watch list this one, and, I just would be very careful. I wouldn't buy it. I wouldn't buy it because, now if you own the stock, if you own the stock, then maybe you could possibly you could possibly do something. But right now, I just don't think you could buy it. I would wait and wait for it to move through earnings. I mean, that's gonna be key. So, it's just you just want to be waiting for those earnings. So it's just really with Amazon here, you really just have to it's too close to the earnings. It's 1 day out of from earnings. I don't think you wanna buy it right now. So for Amazon, I would not be a buyer into earnings, and, I would wait till earnings. Now we might see it move, we might see it move better, but right now, you just don't wanna buy it before earnings. You're just putting on extra risk, and so there isn't really the buy point there is a buy point for Amazon. It's 37.73. So that's really a tough order. Basically what you want to do, and I'm going to draw the reversal line here, and you can see it's right on that reversal line. If possibly after earnings, it it moves above this reversal line that I have here, then you might want to consider it, but I wouldn't consider it now. There's resistance here. So currently, the buy point for Amazon is 37.73, which is way, way, we're way below that. So buy point um, equals 37.73. So I just wouldn't be buying this one right now. I think it's right before earnings. Um, so I just wouldn't be a buyer at this point. So to answer your question on Amazon, the buy point for Amazon is 37.73. We're currently trading at 33.89. It just is not a buy. It's just it is not a buy. So that's my long and my short of that explanation. So I appreciate the comment, but I would not buy that one. I just wouldn't. I just wouldn't. Okay. I think we have another one. Okay. Buy point for Apple. All right. Let's take a quick look on Apple, and then I'm going to take some questions from TikTok. Um, Let me pull up the chart here for Apple, and it should come up here in just a second. There we go. Now, the thing about Apple is that there is some resistance at 150. The true buy point for Apple is 157, and I've drawn a line across here. This is the buy point for 157. I'm going to go over here to the weekly chart. It's a little less busy because you can see I've been trading Apple here. It's a little less busy, but and it's kind of a little bit hard to see. We may have to zoom in a little bit, but and let's do that just for grins. I'm zooming in a little bit on, on the Apple chart, and hopefully you can see this. The buy point for Apple is 157, and that is the buy point here. I've been yeah, there we go. There we can see this now a little bit better. I'm going to try to get hopefully this will let me uh, this will give me let me come off of this. But anyways, the buy point currently, and let's see if I yeah, there we go. The buy point for this is 157. So I would not recommend again with Apple. I want to see some more strength here. Um, I want to see some more strength on Apple. The buy point on Apple 157. We're below that. We're below that right now. So the 157 is the buy on Apple. Now, what do I mean by buy point? Well, what the buy point is, the stocks don't go up straight or down. Up. They don't go up straight and they don't go down straight. They kind of go to steps. They kind of step up. And um, right now with Apple, it's making it hasn't been able to get up to this 156.26. That's where the buy point is. So we're still reversing higher. It has moved past what they call the reversal line, but there is an intermediate high 150 that it has not gotten through. So here's the thing: I would wait on this one until at least it's above 150 to buy it. The actual true buy point is 157 on Apple. So that's kind of the that's kind of the line in the sand. Let's check in on people that have been texting on TikTok. Let's see. Right, that's all is pointless. Okay, okay. I made money trading after the crash. Okay, well, that's always a good thing. Let's see. ChargePoint. Let's take a look at ChargePoint. That seems to be a favorite. Of course, there's two companies that are sort of in that um, CHPT, I think is the symbol on that one, is Blink Charging and ChargePoint. Let's see if I can get a chart up here for ChargePoint. ChargePoint is the bigger of the two. CHPT. I doubt that this has improved since I last looked at it, which was about 2 days ago. It's been in a downward trend for a while, and I don't think it's improved. Yeah, so I'm going to show you the chart here for ChargePoint. And with ChargePoint, the problem is, and that's not a buy point. There we go. The problem here with ChargePoint is that we're in this downward trend. Now we have not reversed. So here's the thing. Here's my advice with ChargePoint. It's just not. Again, it's just not time. It's not time to buy this. It's got a relative strength of 37. So I would not be a buyer of ChargePoint at this level. I just would be a buyer of ChargePoint at this level. It's in a downward trend. I'm afraid I'm afraid that's going to continue for a while. Uh, I'm afraid that's going to continue for a while with ChargePoint. So be very careful. CHPT. This is not one you want to probably buy right now. It just is not looking like a good chart. All right. Okay, so we ducked to the charge point. Then we talked about charge point a little bit. Okay, here we go. I wanted to load up on what is that? Oh, okay, Sheba was scared of the profit taking. I'd be a little bit careful right now in some of the crypto. I got pushed out of the GBTC. I had a stop loss on it. Now, what is GBTC? Well, what GBTC is a trust that owns approximately 4% of the world's Bitcoin. So I use it as a proxy, and it broke support, and I had my stop right at support. Unfortunately, it broke support, and I was stopped out at 46.20. It's currently 46.70, but it is broken support on the 10-day line. So right now, you got to be a little bit careful. Right now the cryptos are pulling back. It changes on a daily basis, but I like to use the GBTC because it kind of gives me a little bit of a forewarning of what's going to possibly happen with with crypto. And right now, at least in the next few minutes, it's pulling back a bit. All right, so we've taken, um, yeah, unfortunately, if yeah, there we go. We'll take another question, and let's take a look at UPS to see what the deal is for UPS. And not up right now, and of course, that is United Parcel Service. Um, Looking very good, actually. This has moved past a buy point, and it is looking much better. Let's see if we can see. It's got a relative strength of 78, which is not bad. The earnings were pretty good. Let's see if we can. Uh, I want to take a look and look at a few of the things on the fundamentals here to see if I can. Let's see what we can see on this. Let's see. Let's see if I can get the right size. Okay. So we did have a breakout. Wow, very nice breakout yesterday on on earnings. So that's interesting. Um, let's see if I can. Let's me do it. Okay, yeah, this will give me about 110%. Okay, so on earnings yesterday, there was a breakout on UPS. It came right up to the buy point at 219, and it was rejected at the hoop. It's unfortunate, but we may get another bite on the apple. It's still above the reversal line, and that's looking fairly good. It's still above this reversal line. I kind of want to get something on that. There we go. All right, going to reactivate that reversal line. So it's still above the reversal line, and that's looking good. I want to look at the technical. I mean the fundamentals. By the way, what I'm doing here is I'm looking at kind of how the earnings went um, for um, um, for for UPS. The reason you want to look at technicals when you buy a stock, you want to buy them on basically two criteria. You want to buy them on technicals and you want to buy them on fundamentals. Currently, the technicals are looking very good, but the fundamentals I am not liking it as much. The sales are up 9%. That sounds like that's good, but it's slowing as you can see. At the beginning of the year, the last 4 quarters, we were at 21%, 27%, and then we're starting to fall off 14%, 9%. So sales are slowing sales are slowing currently on UPS. So I would be careful with UPS. I would not probably buy it. And the reason I wouldn't buy it is because I see slowing sales. Even though the charts look good, the fundamentals are not something that I would buy right now. So my you know my advice for UPS is to watch list this one for right now. There is a buy point on it. If it can show move above that buy point, that consolidation pivot at 216, then you might be able to buy it. It's currently at 212, so I would be watch listing this one right now. Let's see some more strength in this one. I am not, running out and buying this one just because I don't think, it's we're not, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. Okay, great. Yeah, thank you. This is CrowdStrike. This is one that I've been buying TRWD. It is a software security company. Um, and I think, I also owned FTNT, which is Fortinet. I did sell that one, and I replaced it with holdings in CrowdStrike just because I liked the technical action of CrowdStrike just a little bit better. It is pulled back. It pulled back today to the um, to the 10-day line, but I think it's going to get some support there. So I don't think this is a bad place to have bought it. I bought it personally. I can show you on the weekly chart where I bought it today, and I bought it right at basically as pulled back to the as it pulled back, and don't think you can see it to the 10. Did I put it on the monthly chart? I know I did. As it pulled back to the 10-day line, that's where I bought it. So hopefully I'm right, and we'll see it move higher tomorrow. There it is. I basically bought at here, and then once again at as it moved above the buy point, the 289 buy point, but it's pulled back to that 10-day line. So I'm definitely trying to load up on CrowdStrike. We'll see how it trades next week. But I do like a lot of things about CrowdStrike. Technically, I think that it has a nice chart, and I do think that we have some very good support. We have an 89 checklist, which is very, very good. We're in one of the best areas of the market currently. The computer software security area is number 9 out of 197. So there's definitely money flowing in to this particular issue. We are relative. Let's see what I want to see with the. Just want to get the make sure they have the right date for the the earnings. We're through earnings. That's so important. We don't want to buy into. We want to sell into earnings. We want to buy after on the other side. Earnings will be on the 2nd of December. So that's where I bought it, and we will see what happens. I do like some of the things on this chart. One of them is that you can see this is declining volume on this is declining volume. So we bought, and then it's declining volume, declining volume. That means that people are they're running out of weak hands here, and hopefully we're concentrating in those strong hands. So we'll see how that works out. But I do really, really like CrowdStrike, at least for this week, at least for this week. So that's kind of always that's the always thing is what have you done for me lately kind of deal. So thank you. Now Pinterest also a very interesting stock. Of course, that was uh, there was a thought there was a thought rest that that it was that it was gonna be acquired by PayPal, but it seems like that deal's off for some reason. I don't quite know what the ins and outs of that one are, but it took a massive hit. And the question is it gonna, is it gonna I mean, it gapped up tremendously on news. And then, boy, when it found when it came apparent when it became apparent that they weren't gonna acquire them, PayPal, it just kinda took a dump, and it's a relative strength of 6. Earnings are in 6 days. I just think you gotta avoid this one. I hope that, if you down more than 7% on this one, I'd highly, highly, highly recommend selling it because, it just doesn't look good. Now when it starts to move back up, and I'm sure that it will, then you might wanna buy it, but right now, I just think you gotta be super duper careful. This one's a falling knife, man. We could turn around and believe me, we'll get support, but we don't it's the kind of thing you wanna wait until you get some support. So, right now, this is just a situation, it's a bad idea to catch a falling knife, and that's the kind of thing I think on the Pinterest. You don't wanna be in it. It's just, it just doesn't look good, and, I just wouldn't buy it. I just wouldn't buy this one right now. Pinterest, I mean, I like the name, I like the stock, I like the idea, but I don't like the technical action, and the technical action rules for me, so I can't give a buy order on this one. I couldn't say buy on this one. It's just looking far, far, far too weak. All right, let's look at the next question. Thank you very much for holding on here. Let's look at XOP. This is a question that's coming in from Tech Talk. Let's look at XOP, and of course, that's Exxon Mobil. That's the Spider Select for petroleum, and this one has done well. XOP is the symbol, of course, for that. Yeah, let's bring that up here, and there we go. It's the oil and gas. Off a little bit today, but overall, this is looking pretty good. Now, of course, remember, this is not a stock. This is an ETF, exchange traded fund. So, what's great about this one is that it covers all of the stocks that are in the E&P area, and this has just been a very, very good area of the market. Now, it does look like it pulled below the 10-day line, but I think it's going to get some support there because I'm seeing some support after hours. So, this is probably a little bit extended. So, I probably would not buy this one. The ideal buy point on this one, of course, was at about 90.13. That was, and right now it's at 105. So right now this is a little bit extended. So here's the thing: I just think that you don't want to buy extended market. You just don't want to buy it right now. It's punishing people that are buying extended. So here's the thing about XOP. Um, you know, this is extended. This is extended. So it's time to watch this one, but it's really not a buy. It's really not a buy right now. It just isn't. So right now this is extended, and you just don't want to buy it because, but you can be on the right stock, you can be on the right ETF, but if you're buying at the wrong level, wow, it can hurt you. So I would not be a buyer at of XOP right now, the technicals, based on the technicals. All right, we have also a question on Lucid. This is one I'm not in, and there's been a lot of a lot of people like this one. I'm concentrating more on the leader, um, which is Tesla, but the automotive group has been moving up as of late. Tesla has been sort of in a consolidation for the last 9 months, and it's sort of come out of that consolidation. Let's look at Lucid here. See if I can get it. Yeah, Lucid Group. And we're going to go right and bring up that chart. There we go. Here's the thing. It does look like we came up and we tested the buy point at 28.39. It failed and it's pulled back, and since it's pulled up a little bit. So it's really not ready to go yet. I think we got to really wait. Here's the thing. Lucid might be viable above 30, but I would wait. No, I would wait. It might be viable above 30, but I would wait. I would absolutely I would absolutely wait on that one until it's moved above 30. It just has to show strength. You know, eh, um, the thing about the thing about the car business is that up until Tesla came along, there had not really been a successful um, car company started in this country since about the 1930s, and so this it's very daunting to start an automobile company from scratch. Tesla did it mainly because of the move to EV, but I think that it's true. A lot of people really like Lucid. There's a bunch of companies in China that are trying to create electric cars, but I think it's the field is crowded, and the first mover advantage in automobiles is so important. It can't be over estimated. I just think, Lucid and all these other ones, all these Johnny come lately companies, maybe they'll do well, but it doesn't really look good. So I wouldn't be a buyer. I wouldn't be a buyer of Lucid. As everybody knows, I've been a buyer and I continue to be a buyer of Tesla. But it's just a different story. It's just a different story. And it's true. I mean, everybody's gonna say, "Well, Lucid has a great car and, I really like it." I'm sure that's true, but they just don't have the first mover advantage, and that's just something you just gotta be really careful on. So, with Lucid, I mean, yes, maybe you could make some money trading it, but long term, it's just not the leader, and, you know but let's look at where the automobile companies are, because this with um, with um, uh, with Tesla improving so much, this group is started to move back up to the top, and it was in the doldrums, but that was because for the last 9 months, Tesla, which is mainly the group, was not was not moving. Now, Tesla, if you've been watching the show, you know that I started buying Tesla right about the 870 level. Now I've sold out. I'm waiting for another opportunity with Tesla, but the reason that the automobile group right now is doing so well is mainly because of Tesla. It's not any other stock that's really in it. But let's look at the whole group, all together. So what I'm doing is I'm going to pull up the chart for the combined for for the entire for the entire group, and this is the automobile group, and it's been doing a lot better this group has been doing a lot better. As you can see, we just kind of moved here. Now, interestingly enough, this is the automobile manufacturers, but essentially this is the chart of Tesla. Okay, this is because Tesla dominates this area. This dominates this area. So I'm going to kind of show you. Number one, right now in the world in terms of market cap, over at $1 trillion, the winner, the heavyweight champion of the world right now is Tesla. Okay. Number two is Toyota. Number three is Build Your Dreams. This is Warren Buffett's car company in China. If you want to buy a Chinese automobile manufacturer, this is one you want to look at. Number four, Daimler. Now, Daimler, this is the company that has been for years. This is Mercedes Benz. This is a huge company, and yet it is 1/10 the size of the market cap of Tesla. Okay, Stellantis. This is Chrysler. BMW, Ford. I mean, this is amazing. Neo has the same cap as Ford, which is amazing because Ford is truly a company. Neo, yeah, not so much. Volkswagen, look at this. It's all the way down here. Volkswagen, look at how much bigger the market cap of Tesla is compared to Volkswagen. It's incredible. Right now, the market cap of Tesla is 20 times the size of Tesla. So this is why all these other companies, they just don't matter. Lucid just doesn't matter here. So I'm not trying to be, um, not trying to be cute or anything like that. But Lucid just is really, yes, it's a stock, but in terms of the grand scheme of things, right now, at least the market is saying that what the market is saying, it's interested in Toyota, it's interested in Tesla. It may be interested in GM, but other than that, not so much. Not so much. Yeah. So uh, yeah, it's just a tough way to go. All right, let's look at Macy's. This is one I had earlier on about a month and a half ago. Company, it's in the department store area. And this retail area, the department store area has been doing very good. After almost a complete wipeout, this area has been strong. Now it's pulled back. It's we're going to see if it gets support at the 10-day line. Where my line in the sand is, this is going to be pulling back a little bit. We should see support right about 25 on this one. But right now, you got to be careful. As you can see by my marks here, I wrote it up here and then I sold it and then I came back down and I wrote it up and then I sold it. That's the kind of thing I've been doing with this one. I still like this one. It's 22 days in front of earnings, but it's not technically at a buy point yet. Wait for this thing to reverse. And so, what I would say on um, Macy's right now is I would say, it's good time to watch list this stock, but um, you know, don't buy it because right now it needs to reverse in a downward trend, and that can be difficult. So what I would do is I would wait, wait for a reversal on Macy's. So that's kind of what I would do. I would wait for that reversal on Macy's at about 25. That's where I'd be looking to do it. Okay, let's take another question from TikTok. Thank you very much. Da, 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 da. Let's look at PayPal. PayPal has had a lot of damage because of this potential Pinterest merger that doesn't appear to have gone as well as we would have liked it to. Um, so basically, let's take a look at the PayPal chart. Hopefully, I can bring it up here. There we go. And hopefully it will switch over now to the correct chart. And we will be up with PayPal. There we go. PayPal Holdings. Still in a downward trend. And there's just been a whole heck of a lot of selling going on here. Her earnings basically are in 12 days. I just can't get excited about it. I mean, unfortunately, we have decreasing volume, but it's all selling volume. So, the pullback is not finished yet. I think what we gotta do is we gotta wait for an uptrend on it. What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna draw a reversal line, a new reversal line, basically on PayPal. Now, right now, currently, um, you know currently this stock is in a downward trend. Let's see if it's gonna let me. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This stock is currently in a downward trend. I drew the reversal line here. So so basically we can't really buy it until it moves higher. So the situation with um the situation with PayPal is it is currently in a downtrend. Don't buy. So really you know that's definitely it's definitely something I've got to say about PayPal. I mean, currently it is in this downtrend. So we want to wait until it reverses higher. So the question is, when will it reverse higher? Well, here's what I would recommend. If we do this reversal line, let's just kind of put it in there. See if I can give you an exact price. I would be probably a buyer on PayPal if it can move above 270. But right now, it's in a reversal. So, it's just something that, right now it's pulling back and it's just not time to buy PayPal. PayPal, you know, I'm sure that will it's PayPal is one of the all-time great stocks. It's a leader, but right now it's in a downward trend. Ever buy in a downward trend, just and this is a really tough thing to oops, this is a really tough thing to to learn, and that is, it's just you just don't buy a stock in a downward trend. So don't catch a falling knife. And what that means is, and that's a kind of an old, that's sort of an old Wall Street, that's sort of an old Wall Street, uh, you know, Wall Street saying, but don't catch a falling knife. And so that's just something that I would like to, just be really careful about here with PayPal. So don't catch a falling knife. Not a good time to buy it. If you're down more than 7% on PayPal, consider, you know, can consider selling it if you're down more than 7%. So if you're down more than 7%, consider closing your position on PayPal. Just really is not worth losing any more money, and it will eventually reverse and move higher, but we want to be buying it only when it's in an uptrend. We want to only buy it when it's in an uptrend. Okay, this next question is on UPS. My gentleman is 7 UPS. Sales are up big time this year. Absolutely they are, but remember, it's not necessarily sales. Sales are very important, but it is not sales own that make a stock move. Remember, Amazon for many, many years went up and up and up, but yet it didn't have any sales. I mean, it was losing money. What the stock market does is it's looking in the future, obviously. So, having good sales up now are good, but what is the future of it? This is not a bad chart. This is not a bad looking chart for United Parcel Service. We're almost at the buy point. Here's the thing with this. I I would recommend possibly buying, possibly adding to a position. So I would add to UPS if it closes above my point, which is 219. So that's kind of where I would be looking to to add some more. If I had this already, like you do, if I had this already, like you do, what I would do is I would possibly add to my position if it moves above this 219. Now you say, Jim, why would you do that? Why don't you want to buy cheaper? Well, I want to make sure that it's going to move above that buy point because there's resistance there. And if it moves above that resistance, it's likely to move even higher. But if it gets trapped, if it doesn't move above that resistance, then it might not move as high. So with UPS, the best thing to do probably is to buy above 219, especially if you own it now. Especially if you own it now. So that's kind of my take um, on UPS. All right, let's take the next question here. Thank you very much. We talked about Lucid, so I okay. Here we go. This is interesting. Ricky, thanks much. Got out of Tesla yesterday after making 39%. Excellent. Any buy point? Absolutely. I definitely thank you for bringing this up. I am probing. I'm trying to find. I'm trying to find a place. You did. You absolutely did correctly. This is how you sell. You always want to sell on the climax top. We had a climax top on Tesla yesterday, so you did very very well. Here's the thing. I do think that we're going to get a pullback on Tesla. Probably no, hopefully it'll come there we go. So, I do think we're gonna get a pullback on Tesla. I think it's gonna come back to it's gonna right now, we are way extended above the 10-day line. So, here's the thing, I wanna buy this, it's gonna hopefully let me hopefully with the bandwidth, it's gonna let me, get this up here. But I wanna buy this, um, I wanna buy this closer to the 10-day line. So basically what I want to do is I think this thing is going to pull back probably, this thing is probably going to pull back to about 1,000. That's my guess. And if it bounces at 1,000, that number, then that's probably where you want to get back into it. Oh, finally got it. I've just been very, very, yeah. So you can see, yeah. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to show you. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So right now, Tesla, as it closed today, is 13.5% above 13% 5% above the 10-day line. You never want to buy it more than about 5% above the 10-day line. So what's going to happen with the price of Tesla is it's very likely to pull back some more until it gets closer to that until that 10-day line catches up. My guess is it may pull back as low as 1,000. And so buying it right now, we kind of want to wait until it's within 5% of the 10-day line. I definitely think Tesla's moving up, but I think that, it's going to move up and it's going to pull back. It's going to move up and it's pull back until the 10-day line catches up. So here's my point. I think what you just got to do is get your ducks in a row. It's time to wait a little bit. Let's see. Tesla more than likely is going to consolidate right about right about 1,000, and then it's going to pull back. I'm going to be watching it because, of course, I'm trying to buy it too. I was basically, this is how I traded. I was basically in Tesla, basically on the 21st. Is where I um, I'm basically 6 days ago is where I started buying it heavily. I moved it up until, and I was sold out at basically 1,010. I do think we're going to get support at 1,000. So right now, the thing about with Tesla, you just got to wait. We just got to, we got to wait for some support. Um, on Tesla. I think it's gonna be at about 1,000 because if you've ever read if you've ever read about Jesse Livermore, he indicates, and he's one of the greatest traders of all time. He's one of the greatest traders of all time. But so I think we got to wait on Tesla to settle at, and I think it's going to be right about 1,000 for for Tesla to for Tesla to settle. So here's what I would do, and this is always the hardest part in trading. Absolutely, the hardest part in trading is just sitting and waiting. Oops, I can show you the wrong one. This is always the hardest part in trading. You got to wait on Tesla to settle. Right now, it's at 1,039. I think it's going to settle right at about 1,000, and then it probably will take off. So right now, I just wouldn't be. I'd be. I'd be counting my money that I made on the 35% gain, which is tremendous. But I do think, and then I'm showing you basically the 30-minute chart. This is where I think it's going to settle right about here. Let me just kind of put that in. Yeah, there we go. So I think it's going to settle right below this 110. That's where I think it's going to settle. That's where I think it's going to settle. So let it pull back down. Let's see if it gets some support at the 110 or the 1010 or the 1000 level. I think we're going to get some support there. And then once it does, then I think we could possibly do it again. But you can see how spiky this is. You see how it moved over that 900 level, and then boom, it just goes right up here. It's now going to pull back to that 1,000, and then I think it may go up again. But we want to wait. We want to wait on Tesla until it settles, and I think it's going to settle right around that 1,000 level. So just patience, and it's really tough. It's really tough to be patient on anything. All right, Lucid. We covered Lucid. I would not be a buyer of Lucid just because I know that everybody thinks it's the next coming of Tesla. Believe me, it's not yet. So just wait until it's a little bit further down the road. It's a very tough business. I don't know about Lucid. Hey Jim, what's the chart for OBLEF? Looking at it. Oh, in my small stocks portfolio. Yeah, let's look at that. Let's see. This might have been one of the highly rated underdog stocks that I put out. I haven't been following this one particularly, but everything that I've put out in the small portfolio list is, they're strong stocks. I'm trying to give you the best of the lower price stocks that I can. I don't necessarily buy all of these myself because I typically like to go a little bit bigger in terms of the price. I can't. I don't know if that's OBELF. Unfortunately, this doesn't seem to be coming up, so I apologize for that. I don't seem looking to add more OBEL since okay. Unfortunately, this just doesn't seem to be coming up in my portfolio, so I just don't know about this one, unfortunately. But I tell you what, if you do want to get on the list, if you do want to get on the action trailers, very easy to do. We do put out lists basically on highly rated stocks. I did put one out last week, I think, on the highly rated stocks, and that's free, by the way. That's a free, but you have to go to www.dallastradingfloor.com and register for that first and last name and an email address so we can send it to you. You can cancel anytime. It's free. So there's a lot of good things there as well. Well, it's come to an hour, and thank you everybody for taking a look at the show. Tell your friends. I'm always like, tell your friends about this. Please tell your friends about us. And one of the great things, if you want to get on the action trade alerts, of course, that's free to sign up there. But we also have, and I want to show you this at the Dallas Trading Floor um, website. com. This is just www.dallastradingfloor.com. Oops, did it not come up? Yeah, let's try to get it in here. DALLASTRADINGFLOOR.com. And this will come up with our site. It's pretty easy to navigate this site, and it'll come up in here in just a second. There we go. To get on the action trade alerts, this is what it looks like. Dallas Trading Floor, just free action trade alerts. First name, SMS, email address, and just hit that subscribe button. Also, this is the um, today's episode is here. This is the highly rated list that I have. This is in October. This is about a week ago. This is the $110 list. Just click on that. Super easy. If you want to get for our special Discord service, and this is a great thing. Now, this is a pay service. This is one of our pay services, but what's great about this one is that it's a chat room. We have some very good traders in there, and a lot of people have made some very good money trading that. I have some testimonials that I could put up there, but needless to say, this is a very good way to go. Also, if you want to get a Dallas Trading Floor mug, highly recommend this one. Just trying to get rid of those mugs, but it's a beautiful mug. And of course, it's for your trading morning. I have one right here. I just want to show it to you. The Dallas Trading Floor mug, $6.95 as well on that. So until tomorrow at 3:30, everybody, happy trading. And, stay safe out there. And market's a little bit tough right now, but there's always opportunities in the market, and I'm going to try to do my absolute best to ferret them out for you so that you can trade with us and make money, and that's the key. So tomorrow at 3:30, happy trading.